Hey everyone. Welcome to day 5 of the PSAT Math Packet Review. Trickster edition, okay? So I have a couple of things that I want to change to this, but we'll go one at a time. Number 21, when Randy finishes reading 1/5 of 1/2 of a book, okay, so 1/5 of 1/2, okay? There are still 90 pages he needs to read. How many pages are in the book? Okay, so this is a really tricky question because 1/2 of 1/5, well, that's really 1/10, right? Because if I multiply 1/2 times 1/5, I get 1/10. So that means he's read 1/10 of the book. Now, we don't even really need to know that. Look at the answer choices. He still needs to read 90 pages, and we have to assume he's read at least one page, right? So there's only one answer choice here that represents the 90 pages that are still left, which means the book is at least 90 pages long, plus whatever one page, one paragraph that he read already. The only answer choice is D, because that's the only answer choice that's above 90, okay? Really super easy, really super simple. Number 22, what is the prime factorization of 81? Okay, so prime factorization is breaking down 81 into its factors until you get to prime numbers, meaning a number that you can only multiply by itself and 1. So if we have 81 and I break this down, I know it's 9 times 9, right? And then I've got a couple of 3's that pop from here. So 3 times 3 times 3 times 3. Now how many 3's do I see? I see 4. Prime factorization here is 3 to the 4th power. And plus, that's the only breakdown that actually multiplies out to 81, okay? Super tricky question number 2 for the day. Number 23, if x is an even integer, meaning an even number, what is the remainder when 4x plus 1 is divided by 2? Okay, so let's do a little bit of investigating here. So let's make x an even integer. Let's just choose 2, because that's pretty easy. So this would be 4 times 2 plus 1 divided by 2. Now we want the remainder when this happens. So 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 is 9, and that's divided by 2. Right? So if we want to go old school here, right, 9 divided by 2 is 4.5, or 4.5, but a 0.5 in this case will represent 1, because 4 times 2 is 8, right? But I'm looking for the 9, so there's a remainder of 1. Now let's go ahead and prove that with another one. Let's just use 4 times 4, because 4 is an even integer. So 4 times 4 plus 1 over 2, 16 plus 1 is 17 over 2. Okay, well, if I cut that in half, I'm going to get 8.5. Again, 8 times 2 is 16, and I'm trying to get 17. So the remainder here is 1. Now, this should probably say either 1 or the answer is not present, because you're going to have to select choice D here, okay? So there is certainly a remainder, but the answer choice is 1. And you don't see it here, so you're going to have to choose whatever's left over. Tricky, tricky, tricky. Number 24. Okay. This one you can certainly kind of guess and check to see. Omar and Jacob's ages total 24 years. Well, I'm just going to go ahead and write that out as an equation. So O plus J equals 24. Omar is 3 times as old as Jacob. We can write that as an equation as well. Omar's age is 3 times as old as Jacob's. So how old is Jacob? Again, you can kind of guess and check the numbers here, but this is kind of a system of equations. So I can substitute O, which is 3J, right in for the top equations up. So 3J plus J equals 24. If I combine like terms, I have 4J equals 24, divide by 4 on both sides, and my answer is J equals 6. And that's J as in Jacob's age, and I can stop right there. Jacob's age is 6, which is A. Now again, you can guess and check. I could throw in 6 for Jacob, and then you know the difference would be 18. And 6 is a third of 18, or 18 is 3 times 6. So we could work that out. Fun. Last one. Oh, tricky problem number 3 for the day. This is probably a Mr. Drama's mistake. So the sum of two numbers is at least 25 and at most 75. Okay, so all these should say 75. 75. Oh gosh, 75. Okay. So which inequality below represents this? Okay, so we know that we've got two numbers here. We've got at least 25 and we've got at most 75. So the 25s are all on the left-hand side of this inequality nonsense, and the 75s are all on the right-hand side of the inequality nonsense. The sum of two numbers we're going to represent by x and y. Now they all have x and y. So the only things that are different here are what? The inequality signs. So let's see if we can translate the words into inequalities. the sum of two numbers is at least 25. So it can be 25, but it has to be at least 25. Okay? But it can be 25. Only two answer choices show us that, because this is less than or equal to. Because at least means I can be at least 25, meaning 25 is a good answer. These two choices say that 25 can't be an answer. It means like 26 would be my first one. So I can eliminate C and D. We're going to use that same methodology to decide which one's the answer here. At most 75. Well, I can be 75. I just can't be any higher than 75. So again, I need to choose the selection that has a less than or equal to 75. Okay? Because I need to know that I can be 75. Now this one says I can't be 75. Right? But this one says I can. So A is my answer choice here. Hope you enjoyed day 5. Day 6 coming at you in seconds. Bye-bye.